Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Renaissance Man, where I'm back talking about culture. Okay, so today we're going to talk about college football. A lot has happened this season, and I just looked back at the last video and looked at the rankings that I had, and so let's talk about that really quick. Let's see how much I failed at that. 1, I had LSU. 2, Alabama. 3, USC. 4, Oregon. 5, Georgia. 6, Oklahoma State. 7, Florida State. 8, Michigan. 9, Wisconsin. And 10, Arkansas. Now, let's see what it really is right now. We got number 10, we have Georgia. Okay, Georgia's got a big game coming up against Florida this week. If they can win this game, they're back in the race. They are back in the BCS talk. They are back in the they basically won the SEC East. And yes, regardless of what happens in the SEC championship, it still leaves it leaves people the chance of, man, Georgia could actually do something this year. I don't know what's going to happen. Georgia is under Mark Richt. He is 3-8 since 2000. He is 3-14 since 2008 against ranked opponents. He's never beaten Tennessee, Florida, and South Carolina in the same season. He has gone through 3 different defensive coordinators, and everyone around him are winning championships or going to national championships, and Georgia has not been to one yet under Mark Richt. I'm hoping they can win this game this weekend because I am a Georgia fan, but I just don't know what to think. Number 9, USC. USC we thought was going to have a great year. We thought they were going to reload. Matt Barkley was going to have an explosive year. Well, one loss kind of just sent them plummeting. I mean, yes, they still only have one loss under their belt. They have to play Oregon twice probably, and they still have to play Notre Dame, which came out of nowhere. I really don't know what to think of USC. I think that it'll be. I think they'll end up being second in the Pac-12, and then maybe next year if they can reload at quarterback, because they've got talent everywhere on this team. But I just think this year is just not going to be Matt Barkley's year. Number 8 is Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I'm kind of over. I think that they're going to lose this weekend in Notre Dame. I don't trust Landry Jones. I don't trust that defense. They might have a solid running game, but Notre Dame's got probably the best front 7 in the country, if not top 3. So I'm curious to see how they play out this weekend against Notre Dame. Number 7 is Oregon State. Where did they come from? This defense is incredible. This offense is so good, but I really think this defense is what sets them apart from everyone else in the Pac-12. They've got a huge game with the Civil War coming up in a few weeks, but I really feel like Oregon State should be right there in the mix of things. But I'm a little hesitant to say what they'll do at the end of the season because they do have to play Oregon, and that Oregon team, we'll get there in a minute, but they're just incredible. Number 6 is at LSU. LSU, sorry, but your season's basically over with. You're not going to beat Bama. You lost. You had an ugly loss early on in the season, and it burns you. You're going to lose another game in the beginning of November against Alabama, and then your SEC and national championship hopes are out the window. Zach Mettenberger is not the answer to your problems on offense. You need wide receivers. You've got a great running game, but your wide receivers are not very good. Your defense is amazing, as it always is, but again, you need talent on the outside. Number 5 is Notre Dame. Defensively, they're a top 3 team. Offensively, top 20 team maybe. Their offense has been kind of nostalgic. It's been very scarce. They've had to rely on their defense to put them in positions to score, which that's not always a bad thing. I mean, let's look at Les Miles' LSU national championship year. They didn't really have the best offense with Matt Flynn, but they had a great, amazing defense. So we'll see what happens here, but I want Notre Dame to do well. I feel like they should be back on the map, and if they can handle Oklahoma this weekend and win by double digits, they will be back in this BCS talk. They might even move up to number 3 if they win handily, but we'll see what happens. Number 4, Oregon. This is bogus. Oregon should be number 2. I understand Florida has a tougher schedule, but Oregon plays their better part of their schedule at the end of the year. So we'll see how good Oregon is. But right now, by the eyeball test, and I know that we don't like to go by that sometimes because stats can lie, Oregon is the fastest team in the country. Their defense is solid. I mean, I don't even think their offensive linemen really block. I just think they stand in the way just long enough for their fast, speedy Gonzalez running backs just to run by everybody. It's incredible. Last week's run by Mariota, or whatever his name is, having that 86-yard run, outrunning everybody and looking like a sprinter in the Olympics was incredible. I feel like they should be number 2. I understand why Florida's number 2. Don't worry, Gator fans, I'm not hating on you, okay? You've had one of the toughest schedules in the country up to this point, and it doesn't get any better this weekend. But I just feel like Oregon should still be number 2. Number 3, Kansas State came out of nowhere. Colin Klein is just airing it out, running over people, running for touchdowns. He is the Pac-10 version or the Big Ten version of Tim Tebow. He's a touchdown machine. He's a leader. But how good is the team around him on offense? And I'm waiting to see what happens when they meet a solid defense, not just an okay defense, but a solid one. K-State might run the table. It might be everyone else trying to play, make sure they don't mess up, because K-State's played their toughest opponents, really. I mean, they held West Virginia, who had one of the best offenses in the country, to 1 total offensive touchdown. That's incredible. That's a really good defense, a really good team. They might have just won the games they had to. I'm just waiting to see if someone's gonna mess them up. Someone's gonna be at NC State, or someone's gonna be at Oregon State and just upset them. So we'll see what happens. Number 2, Florida. Florida, I believe that you have one of the best defenses in the country. I'm just waiting to see if we're going to find a defense that makes your offense score. Okay? Yes, you scored all these points on South Carolina this week, but you did it because of 3 turnovers that put you on the 5, the 2, and the 1 yard line. Everyone could score on that. So Florida is a very good team. I am hesitant about this weekend against Georgia. I feel like Florida is probably going to win this game. I want Georgia to win, but I need to see that Florida can put up points. And I'm talking about through the air, not just running the ball in these little gimmick handoff plays, because you're not Oregon. But I don't know who's going to beat them. If Georgia can't beat them this weekend, the only option really left is FSU at the end of the season to ruin their BCS hopes. Because moving on to number 1, I just don't see Bama losing a game. If Bama loses a game, they're going to lose this weekend in Mississippi State. If they don't lose this weekend, they're running the table. They will beat everybody and anybody because they play NFL football. They play solid defense. They play smash-mouth, in-your-face football. A.J. McCarron has got 17 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Okay? He's had 1 turnover the entire year, which was a fumble. I think it was last week. The kid, if they were on the table, like I think they're going to, he will win the Heisman. I know Colin Klein's putting up these gaudy numbers, but with A.J. McCarron not throwing an interception and putting up touchdowns like he is, I really feel like Bama's gonna win the whole thing, and A.J. McCarron's gonna walk away with the Heisman. Okay, so guys, this is top 10. This is college football right now. This is what's going on. So leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Ask any questions you like, and maybe we'll talk about it next time.